Good morning students, welcome to our online video class of chemistry. In previous section we had discussed about discovery of electrons. Today we will discuss about discovery of protons and neutrons and also about some atomic models. Discovery of protons, anode rays or canal rays. In 1886, Goldstein was able to show the presence of positive rays while carrying out experiment with the discharge tubes containing perforated cathodes. Perforated cathode means cathodes with holes. He observed that some new type of luminance ray were passing through the hole in the cathode. These rays were moving in the direction opposite to that of cathode. This is the discharge tube containing perforated cathode. Origin of the anode rays. When electrical discharge is passed through gases at a very low pressure, cathode rays are produced. The cathode rays consist of stream of electrons. These electrons travels with a high speed. When these fast moving electrons strike with atoms or molecules of the gases, one or more electrons are knocked off and the positively charged residue are left. The positively charged residue of the atom or molecules of the gas constitute the positive or anode rays. Electric discharge carried out in a modified cathode ray tube led to the discovery of particles carrying positive charge known as canal rays. Properties of anode rays. Anode rays, also positive rays, consist of positively charged particles. Unlike cathode rays, mass of positively charged particles depend upon the nature of gas present in the cathode ray tube. These are simply positively charged gaseous ions. That means the nature of these rays depends upon the nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Anode rays travels in straight line. The charge to mass ratio of the particles depends on the gas from which these originates. That is, the ratio of charge to mass ratio E/m ratio for the particles of positive rays is not equal for all gases. Some of the positively charged particles carries a multiple of the fundamental unit of electric charge. The behavior of these particles in the magnetic or electric field is opposite to that observed for electrons or cathode rays. That means anode rays get deflected by an electric field. They bend towards the negative plates. In the case of cathode rays, what will happen? In the presence of electric field, the ray bends towards the positive plate. And anode rays are also deflected by the magnetic field in a direction opposite to that of cathode rays. This shows that anode rays consist of particles having positive charge. The E/m ratio for anode rays is very small as compared to E/m value for cathode ray particles. This shows that particles constituting the positive rays are heavier than the cathode ray particles. Discovery of neutrons. After the discovery of protons and electrons, it was noticed that all the mass of an atom cannot be accounted for on the basis of only protons and electrons present in it. And this problem was solved by discovery of another subatomic particle by James Chadwick in 1932. The particle is called neutrons. Neutrons are electrically neutral. Atoms of all elements contain neutrons except ordinary hydrogen atom, which does not contain any neutron. Thus, the subatomic particle not present in a hydrogen atom is neutron. Chadwick discovered the neutron by bombarding a thin sheet of beryllium with alpha particle. Now we have learned about discovery of electrons, protons and neutrons. The proton have mass 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 and charge is positive 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. And the neutron have mass 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilogram. But it has no charge. It is electrically neutral. And electron have mass 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram. And charge is minus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Thomson's model of the atom. After the discovery of electrons and protons, the next question was to know how are those particles arranged in an atom. The first simple model of an atom was proposed by J.J. Thomson in 1898. The Thomson's atomic model is popularly known as the Thomson's plum pudding model of the atom. Thomson considered an atom to be a sphere of uniform positive charge in which negatively charged electrons were embedded. This model is like plum pudding dotted with it is called plum pudding model. Thomson's model of atom is similar to that of a Christmas pudding. The electrons embedded in a sphere of positive charge are like dry fruits in a spherical Christmas pudding. We can also compare Thomson's model of atom to watermelon. The red edible part of the watermelon represents the sphere of positive charge, whereas the black seeds embedded in watermelon are like the electrons. In 1906, Thomson was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work in this field. Thomson's model of atom explained the electrically neutral nature of atom, but it couldn't explain the result of various experiments carried out by other scientists such as Rutherford experiments. Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. To find out the arrangement of electrons and protons, Rutherford in 1911 conducted a scattering experiment, Rutherford alpha scattering experiment or gold foil experiment. In this experiment, Rutherford bombarded a thin sheet of gold foil in an evacuated bulb with a beam of high energy alpha particles from a radioactive polonium source. After passing through the foil, the particles were allowed to strike a detection screen, circular detection screen made of zinc sulfide, to detect whether the alpha particles undergo any deviation in their path when it passed through gold foil. Experiment, it was observed that most of the alpha particles passing through the gold foil without any deviation. Some of the alpha particles were deflected by the small angles. A very few alpha particles bounced back. From the above three observations, Rutherford arrived at the following three respective conclusions. Since most of the alpha particle passing through the gold foil without any deviation, it indicates that most of the space in an atom is empty. Alpha particle being positively charged and have considerable mass could be deflected only by some heavy positively charged center. The small angle of deflection of alpha particle indicated the presence of heavy positive center in the atom. Rutherford named this positive center as nucleus. A few of the alpha particles are bounced back due to the direct collision with the nucleus. Rutherford's nuclear model of the atom. In an atom, the entire mass and the positive charge is concentrated in a very small region at the center known as nucleus. The magnitude of the positive charge on the nucleus is different for different atom. The nucleus is surrounded by negatively charged electrons which balance the positive charge on the nucleus. The electrons are not stationary but are revolving around the nucleus at a very high speed. Most of the space in an atom is empty.